What's good, YouTube? Hey everyone, and welcome to New Wave Investor. And yeah, welcome to the first ever video on this channel. So exciting times ahead. This channel is all about just demystifying the cryptocurrency space and encouraging more people to look into cryptocurrencies and digital assets, that they are legitimate, and to encourage more people to invest in the cryptocurrency space. I've been in the cryptocurrency space for a couple of years now. Prior to the 2017 bull run, during the bull run, when Bitcoin topped out at just over $20,000 and crashed down to $3,000, and I'm still here today. And when I first entered the cryptocurrency space, I always felt there was sort of information overload. The cryptocurrency space moves exceptionally quickly, a lot more quickly than the traditional markets. Things happen all of a sudden, and there's an update, and I sort of felt like I was drowning in the space, and I felt there was a lot of misinformation, usually on purpose to manipulate prices and manipulate cryptocurrency investors, which would then have an effect on prices. So yeah, I just wanted to bring and create content that would help you navigate the space that much more simpler, and also break down the misconceptions about cryptocurrency. So yeah, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe, share, hit the like button, so we can get this out to as many people as possible. Your auntie, your aunt, your auntie, your cousin, your uncle, your sisters, cats, nephews, dogs, squirrel. And yeah, let's get into the video. So the first piece of news today is Ledger was hacked, and for those who don't know, or maybe you do own a Ledger produce the hardware wallets Ledger Nano, Ledger Nano S, and the Ledger Nano X. Very, very popular wallets, and probably the best hardware wallets in the cryptocurrency space. Back in June, so it's actually not really new news, back in June, their database was hacked, and about 1 million emails were stolen. So about 1 million emails were stolen, and it was reported that about 9,500 personal details were hacked. So that's postal addresses, phone numbers, and the email addresses and full names were leaked as part of that. It's actually come to light recently that about 272,000 names, email addresses, and phone numbers were actually leaked. So it's a lot more significant than first reported. As a user of a Ledger Nano S, I've got a few Ledger Nano S's myself, I'm sort of deeply saddened by this sort of deception from Ledger, but they claim they've just found out about this information. But as a company that prides itself on security, it's extremely incompetent, and it shows extreme negligence. If you own a hardware wallet like myself, the reason we buy this is for privacy and security. So for our information to be leaked out there, it's incredibly frustrating. But I just want everyone to rest assured and have peace of mind that your funds are still safe. Your 24-word backup, which you would have completed and saved and stored when you create your Ledger Nano, that's completely safe. Ledger do not store or save this information anywhere, and as you can see from their tweets, that your 24-word recovery phase isn't backed up by Ledger, stored by Ledger, so it's completely safe. Just some tips for everyone to stay safe out there. Please, 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 I implore you. It's number one, bookmark all your the sites you visit, the main sites, your cryptocurrency exchanges, your bank details, your email address, your email provider. Bookmark the site, so each time you enter the site, you're 100% sure that it's the actual site you're visiting. I'm a bit crazy, I go to extreme lengths, but that is something I do. I'm not sure if there's anyone else who does it. If you do that also, please comment down below, let us know that I'm not the only crazy one. Another important tip is two-factor authentication is your last line of defense. So for example, in this particular hack, let's just say passwords were leaked. Passwords were not leaked, but let's just say passwords were leaked. In this particular case, this would be your last line of defense. So yeah, the hacker has your email address. Yes, the hacker has your password. But like, for example, you're on Coinbase or Binance or any other cryptocurrency exchange, they wouldn't have your they would not be able to log in without that two-factor authentication. Another tip, again, very, very important, is please do use a standalone two-factor authentication mechanism if possible. So that's like Google Authenticate or Authy, so a third-party app, as opposed to using your phone number. As you've seen in this particular leak, phone numbers were also part of the leak, and they're susceptible to hacks and swim swaps, which have been done in the past. In the last bull run in 2017, people were getting copies and doing swim swaps from people's network providers, and it's quite easy to do compared to if you have a third-party two-factor authentication app. So please do look into that. And thirdly, please do not click any links in your email. I've already received about 5 or 6 phishing emails from Ledger over the past couple of weeks. They're not obviously from Ledger, from hackers trying to gain access to my funds, telling me to click on the link and log in, and my 24-word backup phrase has been hacked, but it hasn't. So if you ever see an email from Binance, Coinbase, your bank, or anywhere else, and it looks suspicious, please don't click on any links within the email. Please log onto the site and enter the site from there. And yeah, that's pretty much the Ledger news. Final piece of information on the Ledger case which I want to share is, if you want to be able to check whether your information was part of the hack, or if your information has been part of any hack, there's a website called ExcuseMe, haveibeenpawned.com. You enter that, your email address, into I'll just can't type today. You enter your email address like so, and you hit on pawns, and then it does a check, and it will then tell you the sites that your email address has been associated to leaks with. So as you can see, this is just a random email address I typed in. joe1@gmail.com has been involved in so many data breaches, 42, and you can see all of them listed below. So I checked my own email address about 10-15 minutes ago, and you can see I was involved. My email address was contained in a hack of GitHub, which is an online cryptocurrency wallet provider, which I don't use anymore, thankfully. And email addresses were hacked, encrypted keys, passwords, and you can see my email address was involved in a Ledger hack and some online spam bot. But like I said, your cryptocurrency is safe on your hardware wallet. Please don't give away your 24-word backup phrase. And then Ledger have said that they will be contacting individuals who are part of the just under 300,000 where their email addresses, and phone numbers were part of the hack. So if you haven't received that email yet, you're probably safe, and do look out for that email. And yeah. Yeah, I'm still lost for words as a Ledger customer. Probably will need to rethink using Ledger in the future, but it's one of the best providers at the moment. So on to the next piece of news, a bit more cheerful, and it's Tesla, and Elon Musk specifically might be buying Bitcoin. He posted this meme on Twitter the other day, essentially saying that Bitcoin was tempting him, him trying to live a normal productive life and being tempted by Bitcoin. We don't actually know the context to which this is in, whether it's Tesla or whether it's his personal net worth, but Michael Saylor popped into his DMs and said, if you want to do your shareholders a $100 billion favor, convert the Tesla balance sheet from USD to BTC, Bitcoin. and other firms on the S&P would follow your lead, and in time it would grow to be a $1 trillion favor. So essentially saying he could 10x his money. Just in case you don't know who Michael Saylor is, he is the owner and the founder of MicroStrategy, which is a business intelligence company. And they now own more than 70,000 Bitcoin. They initially bought $425 million worth of Bitcoin back in September, and they recently raised about 2 weeks ago just over $600 million worth of debt to purchase more Bitcoin. So initially $425 million worth of Bitcoin to put their cash reserves, their treasury, to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and then new debt. So bringing their total ownership to over $1.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. He's extremely articulate, a very vibrant individual, and he's been a flag bearer for the cryptocurrency space, a recent convert into the cryptocurrency space. So that is who was messaging Elon Musk. And he then later on messaged Elon Musk saying that he's willing to have a discussion offline, just in case. There you go. Yes, I've purchased over 1.3 billion in BTC, which is when Elon Musk asked, is such a large purchase possible? And he says, I've purchased over 1.3 billion in BTC in the past months, and will be happy to share my playbook with you offline, from one rocket scientist to another. So yeah, very, very exciting times. Tesla has over $14.5 billion in cash, and that money is deflating. It's losing value as the currency continues to be debased, as the Fed continues to print money. That money's been devalued at a rate between 10 to 15% per year. So it will be in his best interest, and it would also shed more light on the cryptocurrency space, as Elon Musk is an innovator and a thought leader. So yeah, we'll see what happens. MicroStrategy was the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, followed by Square, which is owned by Jack Dorsey, who also owns Twitter, and they purchased just under 5,000 Bitcoin, which was 1% of their treasury back in October, so $50 million worth of Bitcoin. So yeah, that is pretty much the Tesla news. So Tesla or Elon Musk might be buying Bitcoin, so either the company or for himself. And final piece of news is Anthony Scaramucci's hedge fund, Skybridge Capital, have filed papers with the SEC to create their first Bitcoin funds. They currently manage around $9.2 billion worth of assets. And they filed papers to basically create a new Bitcoin fund. And essentially, basically, rich people are trying to buy Bitcoin, and it's another hedge fund trying to get into digital assets, which further legitimizes the space. This would only be for rich people or accredited investors, and they must be buying at least $50,000 worth of Bitcoin. So yeah, this will just give more exposure to Bitcoin at this particular time, and the fund has not indicated how much exposure they're trying to gain. So yeah, it's not the biggest asset manager, $9.2 billion worth of assets, but we're starting to gain momentum. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. It just follows many other hedge funds jumping into the space. We saw the Guggenheim Investments, their chief investment officer, speaking on the news the other day, saying Bitcoin should be valued at around $400,000. They filed papers with the SEC also, and they've been trying to get into Bitcoin when Bitcoin was around $10,000. And we've also seen the Ruffer Investment Company recently deposit 2.5% of its funds into Bitcoin. So they closed their gold positions or minimized their gold positions and allocated some of those funds into Bitcoin. So it's exciting times. We've come a long way since 2017, where the likes of JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon was saying Bitcoin is a fraud and he'd fire anyone in his firm who ever traded Bitcoin. And here we are today, that the largest firms in the world are fighting to get a piece of the action. So we'll see where it goes. That's in the video, guys. Subscribe, like if you enjoy the content, and yeah.